What is up, my Lorcana Goons, and welcome back to the Lorcana Goons channel. My name is Kevin, and you're watching the Quest with a Guest podcast. Every week we sit down with an Illumineer and talk about the game of Lorcana. This week, Zach Stone and I sit with a local SoCal Lorcana Goon. His name is Andre Ativo, aka Ego Dre. He's a sponsored player from a locals out here called Top Choice Gaming. He's been playing trading card games competitively for about 10 plus years now, has multiple premier event tops in Yu-Gi-Oh! And finished top 32 at the DLC in Fort Worth. Zach and I are going to talk to him about the set 5 meta, what we're going to play for DLC Vegas, and give you some tips on how to prepare if it's going to be your first Lorcana challenge or even just your first Lorcana tournament in general. We're also going to play some games using Amber Steel against Zach's Hyper Aggro deck, and it gets really close, so you're not going to want to miss that match. So if you like this content, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned to Lorcana Goons for more. What is up, my Lorcana Goons, and welcome back to the Quest with a Guest podcast. Every week we sit down with a Lorcana Illuminator to talk about the game of Lorcana. I'm here with Zach Stone, I'm our co-host, and a good friend of ours from SoCal who was our guest this week, Andre Ativo. Shout out, Andre. You want to introduce yourself to the Lorcana Goons community?
Yo, Ego Dre, but you guys can call me Dre. Or Andre Ativo, whatever you guys want to call me. How you doing, guys?
That's right. Be sure to go check out his channel too, Ego Dre. He's been doing a lot of content for TCGs since I got back into TCGs actually, which is really cool to see. And it's always good to have like fellow content creators in the community in your local area that are also competitive too. Andre placed in top 32 of the DLC placed top 32 at DLC Fort Worth, which was really cool to see because we're representing Southern California, obviously, man. Tell me about that experience and your TCG experience in general. You want to introduce to the crowd?
Yeah, sure. I mean, man, dude, I've been playing card games since I was like 17. Started off a lot in, Yu-Gi-Oh, the Yu-Gi-Oh space. I actually know Zach Stone from a while ago, from a really long time. We go way back, back to the MTG Deals days, and just been playing for a really long time. And the Switch Lorcana has been awesome so far. It's seen a decent amount of success in it when it comes to set championships and everything. And the just top 32 at Fort Worth as well, and that was a great experience as well too. Shout out to Bucky and Rip Bucky, you know. But yeah, dude, I just want to say, thanks for having me on. I'm blessed to be with the Goons and working with the Goons now. Or shout out to you guys. And dude, if I can I start off with like a little personal story that I have with Zach actually?
Yeah, no, of course, dude. What the heck?
Sure.
For sure, dude. Okay,
I'm
dude,
curious now.
dude. Oh my god, yeah. So Zach, actually, I have an interesting memory about you, dude. So, back in MTG Deals, I think I was like probably like 17, 18. I think we were in like top cut, right? Like I was on my up and up. I was on my rise. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get good. I think we're like round like 6 of like a case tournament and like about to get into top cut. And we were playing at like, table 2 or something. And I remember specifically just, this is one of my earlier memories of, the game where I was playing Shaddolls in. I think I did like this chain link thing where you like hit a back row or something. Just so you guys know the Yu-Gi-Oh terms. And then I basically flipped like an El Shaddol fusion and then like a Shaddol core. And I remember you specifically asking like, hey, what chain link was that? And I was like, oh, it's chain link 1 year thing, chain link 2, El Shaddol fusion, and then chain link 3 Shaddol core. And then you like pick up your cards and you go, cool, I just wanted to make sure I was losing to a good player. And I'm like, okay. So shout out to Zach Stone for shouting me out. Dude, 4 years later, I jumped back in like 2020 into the TCG space. I walk into Frank's and this dude, Zach Stone, is right there. And he goes, Shaddolls? And I'm like, yeah, Shaddolls. I'm like, oh, dude, you still remember me. That's crazy. So shout out to Zach Stone for being a big name and, always been awesome and welcoming to the community for, for me at least.
I try my best. Yeah, honestly. And then to any of those watching that have came up to me at Frankensons, I really appreciate all you guys. A good amount of you guys have kind of approached and introduced yourselves, pointing out who I am. So just don't be shy if you guys are watching the channel and you guys know are local to the area, definitely come say hi. I really do appreciate that.
Yeah, you never forget a good match of Yu-Gi-Oh, any card game really.
Yeah,
like you never forget a good player, like a great duel. We like to say, or in Lorcana, for example, like you never forget a good race because you're racing to 20. But I didn't know you were playing in that format, dude. That's actually really cool because when you said MTG Deals, it kind of struck a little personal chord, dude. I was like, I love the Necroz, I love Shadow format. I'm sure we probably crossed paths too. I didn't even realize it, but the same thing. I feel like. You say you took like a 4-year break, right? And you probably came back around like post-COVID, I imagine. like a lot of us did. You know, a lot of us like post-pandemic the card game players wanted well, you know, we wanted to feel that that little tingle again in our souls. I like competition, dude, and I know you like it too. We like playing tournaments. We like the feeling of getting into the top cut and like battling it out with like some of the best and seeing who can be a champion, dude. And I think it's really cool to see like fellow card game players that I know I really appreciate in my circle to play this game because it brings good energy. It brings good like that straight up like brings good vibes for lack of a better term. But yeah, man. I also took a break. And I feel like it was a much needed break too, because I felt like I was a little immature when I played Yu-Gi-Oh 2 back then. You know what I mean?
I get it. I really do.
Yeah.
I think at 2014 was around the time that I started, and I played up until like 2017. Took a pretty big break and pursued Smash as well too, which is what I was basically doing on my off season from card games. But then came back to Yu-Gi-Oh around like 2019, 2020. Like I think that was around the time that I jumped back in, which was like right when COVID started. And but sure enough, you know, I've stuck with the CCG for a while, and then once Lorcana came out, you know, I made sure to make the transfer over and all in dive, and it's been great so far. So.
What about like One Piece or Magic the Gathering or any of those? You ever tried any of those games?
Yeah, I tried a little bit of Magic. I remember in my college years, and I think as for One Piece, I still follow along with it pretty closely. A lot of my closest, you know, teammates and friends, they play One Piece, and you know, I'll keep up with it. And I think I played like set 2, set 3 a little bit, but never did I go to any events for that. I wasn't like as much of a deep dive on that game as I was Yu-Gi-Oh and Lorcana. I feel like Lorcana just has a different aspect of the game that like is a little bit more similar to Yu-Gi-Oh that I really really enjoy.
Yeah, dude.
Sure.
Thanks for saying that, man. People don't give Lorcana enough credit to that degree. Like, and all TCGs, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's hard to compare a game like Yu-Gi-Oh to other games, because the game is just so wacky, in my opinion.
Yeah. Very deep.
But dang, man, like I really do think you can compare it to Lorcana nowadays. Like we're starting to hit that level of play where you're doing combos, where you're playing like 3 card combos in your deck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're already playing Flavor Champ Popsicle. That's a 2 card combo. Flavor Champ Popsicle, and now we're doing Ice Block
Exactly.
Sisu. That's another 2 card combo in decks. Like red blues become a combo deck this format. Dude, can we please talk about how Visions of the Future is actually just Pot of Prosperity, and you can play 4 of them in your deck?
Dude, that card is crazy. I slept on that card really hard when it first released.
Same.
Because I just didn't really think, you know, like look for 5. I mean, Developer Brain is a one of as well too. I mean, does the same thing. But when you start thinking about the way that the red blue deck is developed, right? It can play off of top deck and you know it digging for its answers at all times. Like if you have like 10 ink and you're at and you just have to pay 2 to look for any answer, that's just it just gets insane. So.
Especially if you have like a fishbone quill, you can already just kind of nullify that by just inking twice that turn, and that's the 2 ink you got. I want to throw Gaston in like every blue deck because of that, because it helps you like dig and look at 3 cards and stuff. But Visions of the Future is almost a little better in that sense. I like that Gaston quest for 3. I love that. I love his stats too. Zach, what would your guys' favorite card be from set 5 from Shimmering Skies?
So, like, just playing with the cards for, over a month now, I'm starting to kind of think that, like, one of my favorite cards that stands out by far is Daisy Duck. The incredible power she has as a 1-drop, being costing for 2, being really hard to kill, takes more than just 1 card to like take care of outside of like turns 3 and 4. You're always going to get like 2 to 4 lore with her, and it's kind of like, I don't really know the percentages, but I'm pretty sure it's close to 50 in like how often I am not giving my opponents like free characters and just bottom decking removal. And there was a time when I played against Chris, Kevin's cousin, and we were testing, and I had 3 daisies, and I quested about like 5 times, or 5 or 6 times, and I gave him 1 character, and it was a Robin Hood Goons. It was funny. So I'm just like, yeah, this card can be extremely one-sided if it's just not feeding into the into the opponent's hand. And some decks just don't inherently have like effective answers to it. Like they do require them to develop some sort of a board and challenge into it. So yeah, Daisy Duck by far has stood out, even though like I'm known to be playing Steel Song. But Dre, let me and everyone else watching know what your favorite Shimmering Skies cards are.
Man, it has to be. I do like Daisy Duck. Don't get me wrong. because of how confusing the effect was at first. It sounded like a big minus, and then you realize you're putting their "Be Prepared" to the bottom, and you're like, oh wait, this card's awesome. But I think it has to be between Prince Naveen and Mufasa, because Prince Naveen as a card has just been so insane for me, and like as much as it's an uninkable at the end of the day, like it's just a plus. It just pluses you so hard if you can resolve like a whole new world off of it, or just whatever song you play off of it to remove. It being Singer 6 is huge. Its stat line is nothing to scoff at. 3/3 is good, and then a Question for 2 as well too. It's just a great song, or just a great singer altogether. And then Mufasa is I love the Lion King. Lion King's beautiful, and that artwork on that card is just gorgeous. Not only that, its effect is pretty crazy. So.
Oh no, yeah, I think a lot of people feel the same way about the artwork. Is the Enchanted? That's the first Enchanted where I've seen that expensive, since like the Ursula Deceiver of All. And the Ursula Deceiver of All kind of had that hype because of the whole like error printing thing, but that didn't really go anywhere, So that wasn't like the price of it. But this is like that's Mufasa price has been like 250 plus, since it came out and it hasn't dropped. And I think it's really just because the artwork on it is like it's crisp, it's divine. Yeah. The enchants in this set are great. Really want to like shout out like all the artists that just did artwork for this set, especially because the legendaries, they had that extra texture, so they probably had that in mind already. I would hope so. And those little swirlies that Mufasa got, they look really cool.
Right.
Yeah. So like playing legendaries from this set just gives me a little bit of a vibe. If I had to pick a favorite card for sure, it's going to Clarabelle. I like the cow. The idea that I am a cow believer. I am a cow appreciator. I actually really like the 1-drop Clarabelle too. Obviously the 7-drop is like the best one. That's like my favorite card. But the 1-drop Clarabelle is so good, dude. It's a 1-cost character.
I was saying that card was insane too when I was testing that deck. So I think the Baja Blast deck.
Yeah,
I was messing around with that deck a little bit because I'm like, oh dude, there's so much hype around this this Clarabelle card, and I would resolve the 7-drop Clarabelle, and I'm like, oh dude, this card's pretty good. I'm like, I like this card. I mean, it's pretty good against the decks that don't have Whole New World. And you just draw a bunch of cards with them, right? It seems pretty sweet. And then I played the 1-drop Clarabelle. I read it. I was like, no, this card's crazy. I was like, wait. Early game it's a shift target, so they want to get rid of it, right? And then late game it's a play Papa Dime, Papa Fishbone Quill. I'm like, oh, this is a pretty good card. Oh my goodness.
That's exactly what it is. Exactly what happens when you play the card. Your opponents have to either respect that you're going to shift it, or they have to out it. And it basically like it clears a brawl. So then it's a 1-drop that clears a brawl, for an example, which is pretty good. And then if you're playing a ramp deck like blue and the sapphire, then you're gonna ramp into that Clarabelle anyways if you're on the play. Or I think it's you're on the draw, you have the exact curve. But if you're on the play anyways, like you're still at a really good advantage. I just like Clarabelle a lot. The idea of being able to draw infinite cards, because it just says match your opponent's hands. If your opponent has 20 cards, you're gonna have 20 cards. I think that's just crazy. There are drawbacks obviously where like if you're in both top deck, or not even if you're both top decking. Well, yeah, actually if you're both top decking, Clarabelle's just a big body, but the body on it's really nice. It's a 5/6. Right. It's really hard to out. Nobody's really playing Criminal Mind anymore. People are really playing Zeus, and Zeus only does 5 damage, so it still survives as Zeus. Against red blue, I really like playing like back to back Clarabelles on them, because their only outs are usually just B prep, because they're not they have to play Maleficent Monstrous Dragon, but sometimes they've inked a couple of them by the late game, and they really have to keep outing each Clarabelle. If not, then I'm gonna keep drawing at least 1 or 2 cards. It feels like super rejuvenation for my Dragon Ruler players from Yu-Gi-Oh. You know what I mean? Yeah,
that card was insane. Hold up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We're talking about super rejuve.
The only issue.
Hey, have you ran into the interaction where you have Clarabelle and they have a Diablo on their side of the board?
Yes, so that is unfortunate because you have to trigger your Clarabelle first. Yeah, you trigger your Clarabelle first, and then they trigger their Diablo. But what usually ends up happening against those decks is that they're pretty slow, or they don't have a lot of ink because you're ramping. So if they do choose to draw all those cards off Diablo on the comeback, you're gonna draw all those cards again as well, and you can usually clear the Diablo, because like if you're playing like something like green blue, you're probably playing your Welcome, Let It Go, Hades.
Yeah, you have removal.
Yeah, you have way more removal than the only decks that really are playing Diablo that are meta, I would say, are Amber Emerald and Emerald Steel. Because I don't think the Emerald Purple, the average Emerald Amethyst list isn't really playing the Diablo shift. If I'm not mistaken. The Erlmeister list is what I call it. Everybody's playing that list. Yeah, everybody's playing
tempo
that
bounce.
List. Yeah, but it's a good deck. It's a very good deck. I think I would easily put it in the top 5, like as like the 5th most probably meta played deck next to maybe tied with Amber Emerald. What do you guys think? If there's like top 5 decks you'll see at DLC Vegas, because we're all going to DLC Vegas, right?
Right, yeah.
Like
Yes.
top 5 meta decks, I would probably say Ruby not in this order actually. I would probably say Amber Steel, I would say Ruby Sapphire, Ruby Amethyst. Then we got the Hyper Aggro, purple yellow Lakers colors because we're gonna be in the West Coast, right? And then we're gonna have the fifth place, the purple green Emerald Amethyst. I would say those top 5 like meta decks you're gonna see. What about you guys?
Just want to interject for just one quick second. The one drop Clarabelle on the play isn't bad because you're able to still shift it on turn 6 and play the Clarabelle for 1 less cost.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have like 1 jump Fishbone, that's a turn 4 Clarabelle.
Oh yeah.
With the 1 drop and the shift.
Sure.
But
Or
going
Tipo,
into the
or
DLC
Tipo
meta,
Fishbone. Tipo Fishbone also
or
helps.
Tipo. Tipo
In
Fishbone does
the
same
wrap
thing.
deck, it's like more threatening, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. So you could save that 1 drop and just kind of play it on turn 6 to do the same kind of thing, or with 6 ink. But for the DLC meta, yeah, Kevin did kind of name the same ones I'm kind of looking at. Another deck that I think would be something to respect too would be like I'm seeing like Purple Steel starting to be played a lot more. Pete and Repeat, I think is what it's kind of branded as. And that is a deck that's very good into the Amber Emerald decks, the Steel Song decks. Not so much red blue and not so much purple red. And everyone kind of already argues that like purple red beats purple steel. But it can be a little aggressive. Doc is also a card that a lot of people are seeming to not forget, but just not necessarily explore anything with.
Mhm.
Also, there are Amber Steel lists that don't necessarily need to be Steel Song oriented too. I think Mufasa is something to kind of respect in that regard. Really good into heavy Ruby meta, and we're seeing Ruby Sapphire, potentially Ruby Amber, and also Red Purple. Um, those are just some decks to consider, but kind of the previous 5 mentioned too. I just believe that like if you're going to the DLCs, especially if you're going to Vegas, please just kind of keep in mind that these decks are going to run around, and you may not play against every single one, or you could play against them at least one each. But it's really good to kind of know what those decks are trying to do and how to prepare for it. What are your thoughts, Andre?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with what you guys are saying. I think the red blue deck is crazy. The amber steel deck, obviously, definitely top 2, and then red purple, right after, right? Good old reliable, been around for a long time. I think amber yellow is up there. I think amber yellow is definitely within the top 5. I think it's probably the 4th best deck, I would say. I think that deck is just one of those decks that's like, you build well enough to be able to win, right? It's like not the most consistent. It can be like not the most consistent in certain matchups, but the discard deck is scary, and it just won this past event. With even though it was set 4, like it did still just win this past event, and it's going to gain some popularity because of that. People are going to start seeing it, and people love their discard. If they can't do it with Bucky anymore, they're going to keep doing it somehow. They're going to figure out a way. So I think that deck is like really, really good. And then what did we say? Said that one, and then the tempo bounce deck. Yeah, the tempo bounce deck is really good as well too. I played that deck once, or against that deck once, and I could already tell like, oh, a good player piloting like this green purple deck could go really far. So that's probably why Roadmeister has so much success with it, because he's very clearly like a really good player with it. So.
Yeah, the average list, anyways, that people copy from Meister has a lot of 2 ofs and 3 ofs in the deck, not a lot of 4 ofs, and then I think that goes to knowing how how your deck is built, because you gotta respect what you're inking too. So you really gotta understand that layer of it, or even just kind of build it to your to your either your meta or what you think is gonna be meta, because not everyone's going to the DLC Vegas either. But I'm really excited that we all get to go. It's like it's probably like the first. I guess it's not West Coast because it's Vegas, Nevada, but still, it's like the closest to the West that we've had.
Yeah, it's our closest for sure, right? All the California players will be showing out to that one for sure, right?
Seriously, man, every California, and oh my god, I feel like I feel so bad for some people that didn't get in, because there's so many California locals who are like, I got a ticket, but like my wife and my kid didn't get a ticket, so too bad for them, they're not going now. But like it's a lot of stuff, I really just like my cousin, he's waitlisted, and I've been seeing so many people get off the wait list, and my cousin, he's not gonna gotten off the wait list. So I'm like, no, this sucks because my cousin's a local Lorcana Goons. Like part of,
Hmm.
you know, he just goes to up as many locals as he can, and he plays a lot. You know, and he was gonna go to the Fort Worth DLC as well, but the whole plane thing happened. The freaking plane computers exploded
Oh
that
yeah.
weekend.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Wow.
he literally missed
Wow.
his flight, so that was
Man,
extremely
he got wrecked.
unfortunate.
Oh my god, that's so
Yeah, no,
sad,
I
dude.
know, dude. And this
Missed
and
that event and then is missing this one too as well.
yeah,
That
dude.
testing.
Like, shout out my
Yeah.
cousin. He's like the most patient person
Shout out to
ever. I
him.
love him to
Uh,
death. He's a really good player. Actually, introduced me to card games. That's why I really want to see him like play this game like to that degree. And like he hates traveling, poor guy. So like that was a big thing for him to go to the airport and all that, and to to invest
Oh
that
my
much
goodness,
time.
bro. I'm sorry. Sorry for your cousin. But hey, shout out to everybody who's on the wait list. Definitely stay on. I feel like they're
Mhm.
gonna keep, releasing more and more tickets. So
Yeah, they
keep
do
on,
they
just
do. There's so many
keep an eye on
people.
your email.
So many
Yeah.
people who signed up who can't go, even locals, even Vegas locals, I'm sure, who
Mhm.
signed up who are like, you know what, I can't go that weekend, and they're gonna end up dropping the week of type beat,
Right.
and so like I was telling my cousin, like keep your options open for sure that weekend, like don't we're only 4 hours away, we're 4.5 hours away on a
Oh
drive,
yeah, yeah.
so like yeah, you could easily wake up at like at 2 a.m., drive to the DLC and be there.
He has a place to stay. I know, like we've talked to a mutual friend, and he has a spot to be at. So yeah, that's just the kind of like dedication that I do kind of like, admire from players, just because it's like something that does speak to me more. You don't have to have that. Like if you are playing more to your own local level, and that's kind of where you want to stay at, that's totally fine. Building your community kind of where you're at is important, but like also recognizing that there are people that kind of want to take that to the next level, and that's how you guys do it. So everybody that is kind of hearing this today, just keep an open mind. The competitive scene is not only like fun, it is exciting to win. If it's not always about winning, because you can't win them all, but it is exciting to win. It is exciting to do good. It feels good. And honestly, talking about like card games is one thing, but I remember like as a kid playing Yu-Gi-Oh, I would almost feel a little bit of ashamed to talk about like I played Yu-Gi-Oh because I'd have nothing to talk for it. But then I eventually, as I found some more success in that game, I would be willing to comfortably admit that I played Yu-Gi-Oh, and I wasn't ashamed. And that's growth, right? And that's what we kind of all want from each other, is just to see everybody grow and do well. So I'm really encouraging people to, if you have been thinking about it, take that next step. It's really important.
It's a grind in itself. Really, it's really a grind. And shout out to all of our longtime tournament goers. I've been going to tournaments for a really long time. The plane tickets, traveling, and everything. There's expenses that come with it. There really are expenses that come with it, and it's tough. Especially like since these launches or these challenges are like a shoe drop. Basically, they're basically like a shoe drop. So
Yeah,
like you
man.
have to be online. You have to grab that ticket. And then like once you grab it, it's like, man, I have to utilize it, right? Like I have to travel out no matter where it's at. So like, it's been an adventure definitely to be able to challenge and compete in Lorcana. But I'm really glad that they're doing the competitive scene right, and
Yeah.
the pricing is really sweet. They're keeping value for the cards because of what they're doing, and yeah, it's just been great for us competitive dudes. So.
Yeah, I can't be mad, and like I really like that they emphasized in the lorecast that they're gonna be kind of focusing as well, putting a little bit more energy into what they're calling social events, fan events, which is what people used to call, I guess, casual events. For lack of a better term. And again, and Zach, you mentioned something about how you felt a lot more comfortable talking about your Yu-Gi-Oh experiences when you kind of got to that competitive level of like getting Yu-Gi-Oh tops and stuff. I had zero tops for Yu-Gi-Oh, by the way, and I was still proudly toting around like Yu-Gi-Oh playing and stuff, but I will admit, when I was a senior in high school and I was really into Yu-Gi-Oh, I was embarrassed of playing Yu-Gi-Oh. TCGs are super nerdy, and like I always felt like embarrassed to tell people, or even just like like I'd meet like girls or something, and then you'd be like, "What are you gonna go do on this Saturday?" And I feel awkward being like, "Oh, I'm gonna go play card games all night." This a Japanese card game where we all sit down and we just try and win some some tournament stuff. And it just became like obviously a passion, and I think if if you like the game and if it is a passion, then you should be proud of that, and you can still play win or lose. Obviously winning is fun. I was gonna make a joke and be like, what's better than playing the game is winning at the game. Like, that definitely feels fun. But at the end of the day, you also got to learn that losing is part of the game, and learning how to lose gracefully, learning how to take those chances, take those risks, going to those DLCs and playing those main event tournaments, and seeing what the outcome is going to be. Like that's part of it. And like I never took that leap, back then when I used to play card games. So now I feel like I missed out almost, and I'm actually very glad that I do it. And I've been really doing it for Lorcana.
Yeah.
Booked the flight for. No, we haven't booked the flight yet for Seattle, but I got my Seattle ticket. So going to Seattle
They're
too.
cheap, by the way, Kevin. They're really cheap.
Don't say it too loud because the FBI is gonna hear it, and then my computer's gonna get a notification, and then my prices are gonna go up. So, we gotta we can't acknowledge it. I'm gonna
Don't let everyone know. Yeah, no, that's,
Yeah.
they are pretty cheap to be fair. Yeah, and like just bringing it back to the prep that you say that it takes for going into a tournament. Like yeah, there's a different level of testing that that you have to do. It's like you go to tournaments or you play friendlies with the focus of just getting better and improving, right? No matter what your placement is, and kind of the idea of like what I need to do better to be able to survive in the challenge coming up. So it's a different like mindset. It's a different testing idea that you have to have when you're prepping for an event.
Yeah, so Fort Worth was your first challenge, right? What did you do? Well, that was your first challenge, but obviously not your first tournament. You've played a bunch of tournaments for
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh! I've seen you get tops for Yu-Gi-Oh!, which is basically ending up in the top cut. And then you did Lorcana. I've seen you do set champs and stuff. What specific preparations do you take for a DLC level tournament as opposed to even a small tournament? Is it the same? Like, what's your tournament lifestyle preparation like?
I am very much definitely have an eye on the meta kind of guy, right? Like, so whatever is sensibly to be trending to be some of the better decks, you definitely want to keep track of those and remember those matchups. I've also never been the kind of guy who like switches from decks very often. Like, I'll at least test the deck at least like once or twice, so that way I could get a solid understanding. And I think everybody should do this, right? Like, at least try one of the better decks like once, so switch off a couple times so that way you can kind of understand how decks work, with that focus in mind, and then after that, though, I stick to a deck that I've chosen. So, for example, for Fort Worth, right, like I knew how the other decks ran, right, the blue-red decks, the red-purple decks. Like I understood, how they played, but I also understood that the Bucky deck was insane. So I stuck to the deck to make sure that I have every interaction repped as possible. I think repetitions is really important. The goal is to make sure that you put yourself in a situation as many times as you can, and in specific situations as many times as you can, so you can find the optimal line. And it's a lot of testing with the thought of like, oh, maybe if I did this instead, right? Or maybe if I did this instead, how do I go back and fix that and make it more optimal? Maybe if I mulligan this way, that's what I really like about Lorcana, is that like it goes from the fundamental level all the way from like this play or just this ink, right? Or what if I just inked this, or if I kept this ink in my hand, kind of thing. Like there's very little subtle things that you can change that end up making the world of change in a game. And I think that's kind of like the things that you want to focus on when it's coming up to when it comes up to the testing for Lorcana challenges. It's just a lot of testing yourself and just making sure that like you yourself are understanding the game well and you are learning the format well, with the one deck in mind that you might have. I'm very much a one trick pony, I think, for the most part. And then secondly, if you want to talk about the best of two format a little bit, I think for this challenge specifically for Fort Worth, I had the idea of the best of two, and I think I'm still going to keep going into this as well too with the mindset in Vegas. But going second when you win the die roll has been very successful for me. I think I went second every game when I was at the Lorcana challenge, and at first the idea was the tiebreaker thing. I don't know if you guys have heard about that or you guys know about that, but basically, if you for the viewers, if you get your win in the second game, like your tiebreaker is apparently better, right? I don't think that ended up mattering too much in the long run, but I think the idea of going second, going first was really important, because basically the whole idea is you go in blind and not knowing what the opponent is playing. But while I was at the challenge, I thought, okay, even though I'm going second, I'm going in blind, I don't know what my opponent's on. I am confident enough in my play going second to be able to take the win playing blind, and that they may make a mistake playing blind going first, and so that way I can crack it open. And if that's the case, once I win that, it's basically guaranteed that I can win the next game, because going first is so powerful sometimes, and I'll have full knowledge of what my opponent is on. So I think that what ended up being the best strategy for me going into the challenge, and I practiced with that mindset as well too, like every day basically, and just practicing the idea of the best of two format. Like, how do I 2-0? How do I 2-0? Because that's how you get the top. That's how you get your points, is getting that 7. That 3 is good, right, for the 1-1 split. But if you can focus on winning your 7s as much as possible, then that will guarantee you the top cut spot. And that's kind of the idea that I have going into Fort Worth, and both for Vegas as well.
Totally get that, dude. Like best of threes are kind of prevalent in more local areas. So when I go to like local game stores and play, I keep in mind that like if I'm going to a game 3, this wouldn't exist in a challenge. So I'm splitting these games at a DLC, especially if it's like I won the die roll, I move first, and I win, and they go first game 2, they win. It's very cookie cutter and clean cut that way. If on the offhand that like you are not going first and you lose, or sorry, you go first and you lose, you get to go first again, game 2. It's kind of skewed testing, so I always try to like keep in mind about how often am I winning. The first game, I think, is what I like to always call it, because I think if it think it pretty much dictates like how the next game's gonna go. Um, I'm looking to always like get as many games in as possible, but I don't know of too many game stores in my area that are hosting 2-game format. There was one that I went to a while back, and it was a four rounder, and I managed to take what I say I got 24 points, so I managed to do 3 2-0s with one split, and I took first place in that. Only one other person with the same record had. I'm sorry, so one other person had the same record as me. So it's fun. It's fun, and like I really, really want there to be a day where we have a DLC, everyone round one splits, and everyone has 3 points. I just want to see that day so bad. I really,
Same.
really wish
It's very
that it
possible.
happens, 'cause
It's definitely very possible, but
it's possible. It's 100%
yeah.
possible because of the 2-game matches. So I believe that it's like something. It's something that's going to happen that we're all going to be like, well, how do we go from here? Because everyone starts with the same record, and we have one round less. That matters for the differences. But it's about winning 13 games, as somebody else like to call it. Day
Mhm.
one, you're playing 18 games with Lorcana, and you have to win at least 13 of them in order to make the day 2. And that's kind of how I've
Nice.
been
That's a good way
looking
to think
at
about
it
it.
now. Yeah, I've been looking at it like that, honestly.
Mhm.
It is true if you count the amount of if you're looking at records at top at these DLCs, you count the amount of games they have won, it would be at least 13 that is required to make that threshold. And
Yeah.
it's important to remember that that is above a 66%.
72% if I
And
did my
that's
math right.
Oh.
But I'm a
yeah, that's very
but I'm a
that's
former
true.
I'm a former Yu-Gi-Oh player, so math's not my strong suit.
I don't, where you're just throwing
Yeah.
out numbers. I think the points were
But
like 42, 45 or something like that, depending on the turnout. So
Yeah, it's like
most
the
likely,
45 is like the
yeah.
safe one.
When I snuck into the top or day 2 of Fort Worth, it was like 45 points that I believe I had, and then a lot of 44s made it in as well too. But I think it was like the 43s that ended up getting like cut out. Like there was a lot of 43s that were in, and then a lot of 43s that were out, I believe was the amount. So just remember like that point system, right? Going into Vegas, especially because it's definitely going to be around 2,000 people. Like Fort Worth was like 1,900, I believe was the number. So I think this will be 2,000 people around, right? And so if that's the case, you're looking at like 45 points, 44 points to get into top cut to clinch it at least to get into day 2.
Yeah, there's gonna be for sure people on the day of asking if they can get into the main event. I'm sure. It's gonna be popping. But yeah, more than 2,000 people for sure. You mentioned something real quick about testing for the event. Yeah, dude. Testing super important. Obviously, keeping those games in mind, like how many games you're winning from the match. Whenever I test with friends, they're always like die roll to see goes first, and I'm like, I always just tell my friends, no, go first. You go first, because you go first. I literally, if I can master losing, sorry, if I can master winning, going second, I can do anything in this game, bro. Like seriously, because you just said it yourself. Going first, you have such a huge advantage in Lorcana. Going first, that it should like your deck should play itself. Like now, obviously, it's not gonna happen every time. There's nuance to it. You're gonna have to make decisions. But going first, you're gonna have that natural advantage, and your deck should you should be able to play it right. So you should master that first, obviously. But if the next thing, if you can master winning going second in this game, bro, you're a DLC. You're gonna be able to take those 13 out of 18 games, or because you're gonna be focused on actually knowing how to win when you lose the die roll or whatever. That's why I don't like I like game 3 format, but like whenever I hear people complain about like or keep track of how many die rolls they won or lost, I'm like, that's irrelevant in a DLC. That doesn't matter to me.
Which is
like,
sweet, yeah, which is pretty sweet actually about it. So
and don't get sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say like don't just test like on the play, test on the draw, right? Like test as if you're gonna see the 8th card, test as if
Yeah.
you're mulliganing to see the 8th card, test if you imagine that they already have something on the board, you know what I mean? That's what'll help you a lot in the going second games, and make sure that you clinch that, especially if you choose to go second, make sure you clinch that and just get that game out of the way, so then that way you can focus on your master plan of going first. Because I know I know card game players, they have this master plan of going first. They want they when they're test handing and they're playing solo solo, it's like, oh man, like my deck is so good. You know, look at how good my deck plays going
Yeah.
first with the 7 cards in my hand. But you know, that's not how all games work. You know, you have a human in front of you. You have a human in front of you, and he's trying to do the same thing. He's trying to beat you going first as well too. So you know, practice going second. Practice on the draw.
Yeah, it's super important, man. So like whenever I'm testing, I don't even like doing like best of threes. I just so let's go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, because that's what a DLC is. We're going back and forth with games over and over again, and that way you test going first, I test going first, you test going second, I test going second, and we just keep running it back that way. That's in the friend circle. But by the way, you're in my opinion, I think you're very bold for choosing to go second. But also like I wanted to ask, does that did having the Bucky deck make any impact in that decision to choose to go second every time? Because me personally, the way I looked at it, just so I can preface this, like playing Ruby Amethyst, I've always felt like this deck, quote unquote, like doesn't have any good matchups, but that also means it doesn't have any bad matchups because it just kind of has like 50-50 vibe, right? So I felt like
Right.
I felt like I can carry that 50-50 and turn it into a 70-30 in my favor. Math, yeah, 70-30 in my favor from that way if I play perfectly and then they don't. And what I thought was, okay, so if I can choose to go first, then I'm gonna choose to go first because my deck basically is gonna master the curve going first. I'm gonna have a strong curve no matter what, ideally, and I'll be able to play against any matchup. And then going second, I'm already at a disadvantage because I'm going second. But now I know what I'm playing against, and I feel like with my deck, it's really important to know what you're playing against when you're mulliganing. If you're going second, because I have to pick and choose. Am I gonna keep songs because of Ursula? Am I gonna keep rabbits? Is it worth keeping rabbits, or is it worth keeping bounce cards? Should I keep my Sisu Flynn curve, or am I playing against Amber Steel and my Flynn's gonna be irrelevant? Yeah, am I playing against Emerald stuff? You know what I mean? So I really felt like I wanted to maximize my ability to win going second, and by me knowing what my opponent was playing already and me choosing my mulligan going second, I felt like I was able to maximize that. But that was because I was playing Ruby Amethyst. That was just my thinking with that deck. I felt like now we're getting to a
Right.
point where it's like based on your deck, it's a decision, right? Or I don't know. That's how I
Yeah,
felt.
yeah. So I kind of agree with the idea of like, yeah, based on the deck, right? It's a deck choice and it's a mulligan plan idea, right? So if you're gonna go in with that mindset, and obviously, you know, that's kind of my idea is you have to come in with a mindset of if you're gonna go second, you have to have an idea for it, right? Especially if you're gonna go in second blind. I think no matter what, you have to go second against your opponent eventually, right? So that means that if you want to 2-0 your opponent, you have to eventually beat them when they go first. So when is the best time to beat them when they go first? Whether you have full information or they have full information. I feel like if I have full information, or if they don't have full information going first, they are more likely to make a mistake than I am going second, because I see what they're doing. I'm mulliganing for going second, and I'm looking at, you know, looking for ways to, you know, basically destroy their game plan or whatever, and, you know, exploit their game plan as much as I can, because I chose to go second. I already had an idea for it, so that's kind of my look at it. But yeah, it is definitely deck choice as well too. Like the Ruby Amethyst deck can feel really rough going second sometimes, I know, because like you're not doing what everyone else is doing. Like you're not putting a singer on the board and then scrapping something, or you're not, you know, playing Fishbone Quill, playing one jump ahead and ramping to catch up as much as possible. Like that, like some of the decks have like a great game plan going second, to be able to try to catch up. I think catch up cards are huge. You have to have certain catch up cards like one jump ahead. I think Be Prepared is a catch up card. However, I also think it's a 7 cost card. So like sometimes you don't get there, right? So
Exactly.
it's a little rougher with the Ruby Amethyst deck to kind of think like that. But I mean, to be fair, I'm not a Ruby Amethyst player. You know, you guys got it on lock more than I do. I'll tell you that much. But I know for your previous question about Fort Worth, the Bucky deck definitely gave me a bit of an edge as well too when it came to going second, because if they didn't know I was going second, and again, this is information, just like I said, if they didn't know I was on the Bucky deck, right, and I made them go first, and then they see me, you know, summon Robin Hood, play Bucky, right, or they see me play whatever, you know, greed cards, people can really make a mistake of how they mulligan versus that deck, and like, you know, not keep the correct cards, or how they ink even versus that deck turn one. Like that is really important in decks like that like to curve you out real fast and real early in the game. They like to the first 3-4 turns are really important because it depends on what you ink. It depends on what you keep versus them. For example, if you're thinking about the Ursula, right, the Ursula song rip. If I know I'm playing versus the Ursula song rip, I'm not going to keep songs, right, and I'm probably going to ink songs. You know what I mean? If my turn one I keep too many songs, and man, all of a sudden the Ursula has value on too. You know what I mean? So that I feel like it definitely had an advantage. The green cards definitely had an advantage, especially if they caught your opponent off guard. But it's all in the deck plan, really. It's all in the deck plan and the way that you prep for a tournament. Every tournament's different. You just have to prep for that specific one. So
Yeah. No, the importance of like knowing what you want to look for when you are not aware of the matchup, I think is really important in testing too. So always keep in mind if you are testing, like with your testing groups or just your local game store, community members, just keep in mind that like if you're just wanting to test, you're gonna know what your opponent wants is playing, but don't mulligan as if you do know. Like, kind of just think about if you're not aware of your opponent's matchup, you are making if I'm on the draw with an Emerald deck and I have an Ursula Deceiver, I might not want to keep it against certain decks. If I know I'm on Steel Song, it's an auto keep, right? But yeah, I'm like just be tempted to put it back if I have another 2-drop. If I'm playing the Amber Emerald deck and I have like a Sir Hiss, Surhis is a lot better into other like Emerald decks to counter Diablo. It's very, very good to counter the Flynn Rider against Red Purple. So you have to make those conscious decisions that like what is better in an overall theme versus what is actually targeted for more specific matchups. And if you really are not aware of this information, then like a hypothetical like event against a random player, you should take into account that you are and mulligan that way just to get the more proper testing. I tell people all the time that like, are you wanting to go first or second? Okay, all right, on the draw, blind mulligan. Like, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, I always kind of like state that in when we're testing, like on the draw, blind mulligan, or now it's like on the play, blind mulligan, and then
Mhm.
when you play your next game, it's like okay, on the draw with knowledge, with matchup knowledge.
Yeah,
You
knowledgeable
know,
game.
and it's so important in this game too. We always think that the matchups are really what kind of determines like how well you'll do at an event or any sort of like local. Your matchups are a little bit important in that way. You have to know how to beat every matchup, but there are just some decks that just are completely favored against other decks, and there is no question about that.
As somebody who 2-0'd both my Bucky matchups in Swiss, and split with like everything else that I was supposed to beat. I think matchups are only so much only a part of the game. You know what
Right.
I mean? Only a part of the game. And I'll be real with you. I felt like I was supposed to lose those Bucky matchups at Fort Worth, but I was just on like Yugimoto mode. I was top decking B preps. I was top decking Teeth and Ambitions. I was just playing like a king of games. It was great. It was great.
True.
I did some really gnarly plays though, and then I also caught some people doing some unfortunately, it was just an accident, but it was just like illegal plays, and I was like, I'm on my stuff. I was like, I'm on it today. I'm locked in. I was like, you're in like
Right.
nothing's getting past me today. Nothing's getting past me. So it was a lot, but it is a lot. Sorry, it is a lot to prepare for these DLCs. You know what I mean? And I think it's a big kudos to anybody who goes to the DLC and preps for them, because in regardless, you're still gonna get tickets for playing the whole event anyways. And then you can play the side events and you can walk away with like a Cinderella mat or something, or some of those nice like side event prize cards, or even just some sealed product, which is cool. But obviously we all want to win, right? But since we're talking about testing and practicing, Ego Dre, let's get a game in against Zach, real quick. I know you're saying you're playing Amber Steel, so let's go ahead and load this in against Zach. Zach's undefeated against the quest with Zach's undefeated against the guest that we've been questing with. So he's been
Really?
yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah, he's just been beating us like nonstop. I keep telling him that it's bad for content, but he doesn't care. So he just
He lives up to his name. At the end of the day, we are competitors. He's
No,
gotta
yeah,
win.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we're trying to showcase how to play the game. But give me what? But yeah, give me. There you go.
Hey,
Competitor.
my bad.
Ready.
Hey, it doesn't have the little 2 sticker on it. Wait.
Oh yeah, my God. It's a sticker.
Not
The two
there.
sticker,
Not there.
the two. Yeah,
Oh,
mine got the two. Bro, in Atlanta they wrote it in with the gold. They wrote it in with a marker.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, it looks funny. Let me
That's
show.
pretty
Let
funny.
me show. Let me show.
That'll look pretty sweet.
Oh.
Oh, that looks cool.
It's actually really cool. It's actually a really cool memory. Eat a Candio special here. This is what he used to get first place at the what was it again? It was the
It was a CCS 10K, I believe.
There you go. The 10K Charlie's collectible show deck. Are you playing the exact same list or something similar?
Pretty close. Yeah, it's pretty close.
Okay, yeah, a lot of people are playing a list like this. I'd say a lot of locals, right, Zach?
I would say this is a very popular one he won. Honestly, a lot of people felt more confident in it,
Mhm.
and this is when I felt like everyone was going to start playing red blue again to counter it.
Mhm.
All right, one game, winner take all,
All right.
Zach.
No. You go first.
Okay,
Remember,
fine.
we're testing.
Oh yes, okay, there you go. See, that's what I like to see. All right,
Right,
all
right.
right, Ego Dre.
I- I need a stream. I need to see.
Oh, sorry.
I
Yes,
have
yes,
no
yes.
vision.
Give me 1 second. That was totally
As
my
much as
fault.
as much as I love your beautiful faces.
That was
I
totally
love
my
see-
fault. There you go.
love seeing you guys.
All right, so you can see
The
my
honey
screen
lizard.
now, right?
No, I sure can.
Okay, perfect. So we opened up
We're
Ariel,
looking good.
Robin Hood, Sherwood, Strength. We got a whole new world, Lantern,
Mm-hmm.
Cinderella Ballroom, and Storm Rage On.
This hand's looking pretty good. So like the way that I've been prepping for it at least is, you know, a whole new world. I usually try not to keep it depending on the hand, and whether I'm going first or second or not, or depending on the deck I'm playing against. I think a whole new world definitely stays in the hand if we know we're playing against Ruby M. But I think the thought process here is kind of honestly, this hand is really good because we can really think about how we're going to do this play line. So part of me wants to put the wheel away. I think that might be the only thing that I want to mulligan though. I think everything else is looking pretty good. We have the ink for the Cinderella if we want to play out the Cinderella, and we even have the choice to not play the Cinderella this coming the start of the turn. So I think it might just be the wheel. Yeah, I think it might just be the wheel.
So for like
Launching up
non-Amber Steel players, sometimes like this is like the best card in the deck, right? That's like what people. That's like what you think about. And so
yeah.
my initial reaction is like, oh, cool, we drew wheel with Ariel. You know, I want to keep them together. You know, so why don't you do that?
So the issue is because this deck very much has a lot of uninkables. So every time you're mulliganing with this deck, you really want to think about, okay, I have a card that to play. I have an uninkable. Make sure that I keep a card in my hand that is inkable, right? So our idea here is if we're going to play the Cinderella, we have to have an inkable next to it. Or if we're going to play this Lantern and keep this, we have to have an inkable next to it. So always think in your head, if I'm going to keep an uninkable, I have to keep an inkable, right? So if, we have to put away some of the inkables here because we have, what, 4 inkables and a lot of them that we kind of want to play. So definitely get the uninkables out of the hand as much as possible. The whole new world we'll hopefully see later with the Ariel if we do need to see it. But this deck is pretty consistent, so I'm pretty sure that we'll see it in a bit. But the Cinderella Storm Rage On is just a little too good to keep to not keep, and obviously Lantern is there as well too. So we have the option to not even have to play the Cinderella here if we want to just keep it for the ink just in case. So yeah, I would just put back the wheel here. But the wheel, don't get me wrong, broken card. Hopefully we'll see it later.
Okay, that's a really good way of looking at it, man. If you're gonna keep it on inkable, keep an inkable next to it.
Yes.
I like that. Another thing that I wanted to mention too is I told my friend this too because he opened up the triple wheel one time and I was like, "What was your mulligan?" And he's like, "Well, I kept Ariel and wheel," and I'm like, "That's why you never keep wheel."
Yeah,
Like,
you really don't want to keep wheel, especially not going second. You really don't want to keep wheel.
And for those who don't know, wheel is whole new world. That's exactly basically what
Yeah,
that works.
right.
Yeah. Just some people, you know, we never know who's watching. Maybe some first time Amber Steel enjoyers. But we're going first. Zach, did you mulligan already?
No,
Looks like he's
I just wanted to give a little piece. I mean, as a person that's just going on the draw, when I hear my opponents just deciding to mulligan one, I don't get scared, but I'm like, okay, so their hand is pretty much set. There's one card that I guess they don't really need, or they would much rather see later. But I would anticipate that they have a really good hand. So just gonna do 3 for myself here. And since I'm on the draw, let's go ahead and let's play some Lorcana, Kevin.
All right.
Play some Lorcana.
So we drew another inkable. We drew into our second strength of fire. Do you ink
That's what
the
we
second
wanted.
strength?
Absolutely. Any
All
day
right.
of the week. I think we do play it. Now the option here is whether we play the Cinderella or not, right? We don't know what he's playing against. I would rather not get cooked out by aggro, so I'm kind of down to play the Cinderella. It might bite us a little bit later because we might have to ink something else, but I'm down.
That makes sense. Go ahead, Zach. Pass turn.
All right. This is gonna be a fun, interesting matchup. So, because of the unfortunate circumstances I find myself in facing against my hardest matchup, I hope I foreshadowed my deck choice by choosing the Honey Wizard mat. I'm gonna ink my Miracle Candle
Christina,
and
look at this.
play.
The dreaded.
Oh, the duck.
Yeah.
The daisy.
And this is good to see because like you're run into hyper aggro at either your locals, your set champs, or the DLCs. You know, there's gonna be a hyper aggro deck for sure that you run into. Zach, you're playing Miracle Candle. You're a goon. I appreciate that. And then you're gonna pass, I'm assuming.
Right. So I definitely think here we are inking the Cindy that we just drew. This is actually hold on. Let's play the Let the Storm first.
Oh yeah, so
So
we're always gonna play
let's
Storm.
do 2 damage. Yeah, so that information, as much information as possible. So play the Storm, do 2 damage there.
Okay, so usually, yeah, this is some advice I give to a lot of players too. If you have cards that draw and you're gonna use them anyway this turn, like
that's so good.
Definitely use them to definitely use them before you continue the rest of your play, because now our play might change, right?
Yeah, huge for us. So now that we did that, right, you're gonna ink the Cinderella still. and slam that lantern.
Slam. I see where you're going.
Slam
with
it
this.
and then tap that lantern to be able to summon that Robin Hood out.
Play a free Robin Hood.
We're
Goons.
looking real good now. We're looking real good.
All
as long as
right.
he doesn't do anything too crazy.
Go ahead. We're gonna pass turn there. Pass it back to Zach Stone. 2 damage already on the Daisy. Potentially can give us a new card as well. But we're playing so many songs and non-characters that this Daisy can potentially put back a non-character to the bottom. He's gonna ink a
All
what?
right, man.
What was that? Turnabout followers? Now I can pull it up on Turnabout followers ink.
You got the yellow purple. Oh, he's not playing.
Oh,
He is not messing with this man. Oh,
wow, bro.
He is not messing around. He
Triple
wants
Daisy.
Zach Stone needs this.
He wants smoke.
He needs this.
He wants the Amber Steel smoke.
I'm undefeated against Kevin. I want to try my best, even when the matchup's bad.
He can't give you anything, can he, Kevin? He can't give you anything, dude.
bro.
Look at him.
No.
He's making that's actually crazy. Like this, and I was just saying, this is why Zach Stone wins them all. This is why, it's because he opens up like this. But
it's okay. It's okay. I think we have some options here. So
okay, so I do want to just backtrack a little bit to the last stream. We did Inca Strength, right?
We did.
For our first turn, and I feel like we wanted to respect a potential Emerald matchup by doing that. You know, I don't want to keep 3 songs in my hand, and then we have one too many if they drop an Ursula. We're going blind, right? Because we didn't know what Zach was playing. But now I feel like I wanted that second strength. You know, so
yeah, definitely, right? Yeah, those are kind of the ideas of that. That's what I'm saying.
But now we know
blind. Going first, right? Blind going first. It's you can make a mistake.
Yeah.
You can make a mistake within the early turns. So that's why I like to take advantage of that. But.
Yeah, you're right. I see where you're going with that. And like if we know our matchup, we won't make those different mistakes in inking. Inking's super important in Lorcana, by the way. I think that's one of the most detrimental things in like how you win and lose a game is like inking cards you shouldn't have inked. It happens so often. So just really kind of think back of your other turns and ask yourself, should I have inked this? Could I have inked this instead? You know, but we have some really good plays. We got the big old Robin Hood.
Yeah,
we got Naveen. We got Ariel.
I definitely think it's the Ariel here.
Okay.
So that way we can see if we can find a song, if not an inkable song, just a song in general.
So more information, just try it before we continue the rest of our play. Okay, so Ariel, if you guys don't know, look at the top 4, grab a song. Tabletop Sim's nice if you guys don't use it. So we have, we did get a song.
Now we're looking nice, huh? Now we're looking pretty nice. I'm enjoying this.
Now we're cooking.
We're looking pretty nice.
What is the song you added? You do have to reveal that.
Oh, yes,
song.
yes.
Nah. It's a lot.
We're adding Zeus. I forget. Sorry, Zach. We're adding Zeus. So it's okay because, you know, one of these days he's not going to last here forever. And now
honestly, the way I'm feeling about it, I'm kind of down to pass on an ink this turn. Like that's kind of how I'm feeling about it here.
Don't ink.
Yeah, because I don't want to get rid of either of the cards that we have that are inkable.
Yeah.
Right. Like I think those cards are both going to be very good in this next turn, depending on what Zach Stone does here. I think the biggest punish is like Befuddle or something. I don't really know. Other than that, like there isn't too many things to punish us here. I think we're okay. I think we're okay to wait another turn, especially since the Lantern ramped us to 3 anyways. So I think I'm kind of down to pass.
Oh, so you don't even play Strength to try and like kill this one, or it's a banish. Sorry, you don't have to try to eliminate this.
I'm trying to get full value off the card.
Okay,
if
makes
you know
sense.
what I mean.
Yeah, makes sense.
I'm
makes
kind of
sense.
trying to get like full value out of it.
Wombo combo next turn and just get the. Okay, that makes sense. I get it.
Depending on what Zach does here. So.
Okay, I get it. And I do want to stress, by the way, Lorcana players, you do not have to ink every turn. Like you don't have to ink every turn. So many times I'm playing a match and I ask myself, do I want to generate a free resource and pass ink? And because that's an extra card in your hand you can use. That's really important. So yeah, you don't have to ink every turn, guys. So Zach's gonna go. Ooh.
Hey, what's he got for me?
Whenever I was a Zeus, he hit a Zeus.
There we go.
There's an Ursula. Okay. So
give me that.
Okay,
this is
so
what
we're
I
getting an Ursula
like
for sure. What is it? Puts to your hand. Yeah, there you go. All right. So
yeah, you can choose. So that's actually important interaction as well too. Is that you can choose whether you want to resolve the affected AC Duck or not. So sometimes there's characters that you just don't want in your hand, right? So this maybe even being one of them, right?
I mean, I'm down. I'm always down to get
just keep it. Just keep it. Yeah, just keep it.
Against this matchup, we're down right now. He drops a Lilo. He's already at 6.
Oh, look at him. Oh, he's going off. Look at him.
Dude.
He needs to win this.
And a befuddle.
And he hit us with the punish. Okay.
So we got a little punish. We got a little punished. I don't think this.
I think it's okay. I
don't know if this beaded candulus plays.
I think we'll be all right. Okay. So I think definitely the first thing I'm thinking is that Pete goes into the well. In this matchup, it's not the move, especially since the funnel happened already. It is not the move. Definitely put that in the well. Okay.
By Peter.
I really want to play this Shift Robin Hood for sure.
Okay,
Right.
shift Robin Hood. You don't think
Mhm,
it's
so-
Naveen to try and develop some tempo? Oops, while we sing a song.
Well, I know you have. I know you have
Right.
Naveen. Yeah, I know you have it.
Yeah, you definitely can. My idea is more like let's use this Robin Hood body to swing,
Mm.
right, and then get rid of the Daisy, and then kind of develop a couple more singers again, so that way I can sing these songs in a wombo combo fashion. However, I guess Prince Naveen could be pretty good here, right? Because you can also just go Robin Hood swing. This baby Robin Hood swing into that Daisy, and then play the Naveen, and then kill another Daisy, because it is getting a little dicey out here. So I'm okay with that line.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Or we could even shift still and then use Ariel to still sing a Zeus and hit one of the daisies also. And then
So
the
that's
Robin
kind of
Hood
my
start
idea,
there.
right? Like I was
Yeah.
kind of trying to see, I was trying to get the most value out of that strength as I could. This is kind of my idea. So I think you can do the Robin Hood shift, swing into the Daisy Duck, and then sing the Long Game Zeus on another Daisy Duck. And then he doesn't have any cards. All we have to do from this point on is get over his board. I think we'll have enough to be able to play the Cinderella too, right?
You get to play the Cindy too.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
that's
that's-
important. That's important.
it's
Because then we
looking-
have the extra
yeah.
singer. Nice.
It's
So
looking
yeah,
pretty
hit
good, so.
that, take 1 damage, gain 2 lore. Nice.
You know what I'm saying? This Robin Hood's gonna be big here
Alright,
from now on.
And
So
then we'll go ahead and
kill the
sing
Daisy. Long Game Zeus,
on
kill
this
the Daisy.
Doesn't matter. Oh, okay. And then we can still ink a card. We'll play this. We can still ink. Did you ink the Vanessa?
No,
already
we inked.
inked.
We inked
You
already. Yeah, we inked.
Oh,
the
we
Pete.
did. Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
the Pete. The inking Pete was the very first thing we did. My bad. So,
Right. One of the
Judge,
things we did,
please don't ban me. Go ahead. Now we're gonna bounce back.
Phil, please, Phil.
Please, Phil, don't give him a DQ.
Give a DQ. Okay, I think we're looking pretty good here now. We have a lot of cards in hand.
Ooh,
see what
we
he's
got
got
free
going for
goons. Free goons. We'll take that. Free goons character. Take that every day. Okay, he's at 8.
I can put up a guard.
Donald Duck,
put
kind
up
of
a guard.
scary.
Yeah, he's questing
And then-
fast.
You give an extra lore and then quest.
13. Oh my gosh.
Okay, okay.
All right. So,
All right, man.
ready?
This is where I
all
have to
got.
start.
Set,
This is where I
draw.
have to start getting rid of things. Yeah,
Oof.
to start really getting rid of things.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we are just gonna have to develop our board as much as possible. So definitely, yeah, did get that.
Okay, definitely it's
Naveen on the
Naveen, right?
Yeah, definitely get that Naveen on the board.
Naveen's gonna let us play a song for free with 6 or less, so we'll play the strength finally for 4.
Yeah, killing that,
Clearing the
yep.
Daisy. We don't. We'll just clear the Donald with the
And clear everything else. Yeah, so
Okay.
clear that with
You just
the
clear
Robin
the
Hood
board.
into the Donald. Yep,
take
gain your 2.
2 lore, and
Boom,
then
boom.
bam, bam.
Boom, boom. Put 1 on everything. And now he's on top deck,
hope
and
you
we
don't have-
can kind of start turning things sideways. I think you ink then Ursula, and then play the baby.
Play
Yep.
Goons.
Cool.
All
So
right.
now we're gonna start trying to go as fast as we can after this. So
Go ahead,
what
Zach.
he does.
All right, man. I tried my dang hardest, and I don't think I'm done.
I
Just so you
think
know.
I'm done. Oh, this guy, man. This
Big
guy.
man.
Oh, he's not
Big
done. He's
Wow,
not
okay.
done.
Says,
He's not playing
draw
with us,
something.
man.
Let's
This
draw
is
something.
Scary.
Okay,
This
it's
is
not. It's
scary.
not it. It's not.
Okay,
so-
not exactly what we're looking for.
So we just have to go for it, right? We just have to race. We're just racing.
Yeah, I think we race. I think we might
Okay,
be beating because
4,
he goes to
6,
what
7.
1, 2, 3. That's the worst he goes to is 17 here.
Mhm,
So I think we definitely play out the biggest
So,
questers in our hand.
2,
So
4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So
okay, now
yeah.
play the Naveen and the Cinderella, I believe. I don't
Okay.
think he needs ink here. So just play the Naveen and the Cinderella.
Makes sense.
I don't think I can win.
Yeah, because this is 18, 19, 20, 21. This is 21.
That's
yeah.
lethal. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have
then he has
to be able to
potentially,
go something
potentially
else.
17.
You already
go
quested
18.
for 7. Yeah, exactly. So I gotta really. I don't even know what this is not it. Yeah. All right. I have invested.
Yeah. Oh
Good
my
game.
goodness. Hey,
Alright.
GG's, man.
Good game, good game.
The triple Daisy heart attack, man.
Daisy's crazy. Daisy's crazy.
Daisy's crazy.
All right, you want to try another one word? You go first, Zach, real quick.
Sure. That was quick. It'll be quick with these matches.
The run back.
All right.
I didn't know he was on 62 for this deck. I thought he was
Yeah,
on
it's
60.
So
62.
let
Very interesting.
no. Yeah, no, it's not 62. That was an error. I think it's supposed to be 60.
Really? What's it missing? Then?
All right.
Oh, I got it off Dream World. No, it was. I believe it was 62. I think it wasn't. Really? No. Well, this one has 62 in it. So that's how we're playing.
Whatever. Couple extra cards.
Okay, so what do you keep in here with this? We opened up double strength,
Yeah.
little Cindy, big Robin.
Right. I think the snap keep
Aerial.
for sure is the Ariel Cindy lantern, right?
I'm
So
just
those are
gonna,
always the snap keeps.
I'm just gonna full keep my hand, by the way. So now
Oh
you guys can.
no.
Okay.
No. I think that's for sure the snap keep. I think the Robin Hood might stay as well too, and maybe one of the strengths because remember we're keeping a lantern, so you want to think about the way that we're going to ink our handout. So, or actually, if that's the case, then I think we can put back the Cindy as well, or the big Cindy. I mean, yeah,
Alright.
big Cindy and the strength. Yeah.
You don't keep an extra song because it's a scary hyper aggro matchup.
Oh yeah, I guess we are playing with full knowledge. Sorry, I was playing with no knowledge.
Oh
right
no,
now,
yeah,
so.
full knowledge
Yeah.
now. Full knowledge now. Oh, okay, so
Okay,
no knowledge, you
hey.
would do this. Full knowledge, you do this.
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
no
okay.
knowledge. No knowledge. I would take out the strength, and I would.
Zach, are you
definitely,
playing?
do
You play with
this
full
one.
knowledge, Zach. Yes.
Yeah, he's like, yes, I'm playing
Yeah.
with full knowledge. I kept 7.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I kept my
Okay.
hand because I think I have what I want in this matchup for my curve.
All right, go ahead.
Oh no, this is looking pretty sweet.
Yes.
Oh no, Zach, please
Would you ink Pascal? Play a Daisy again?
run back to Daisy.
Daisies, bro. Well, you open up. You
And
open up.
and now I have to start with Daisy when I know it's Steel Song, no matter what.
That's
Yeah,
true, that's
definitely.
true. You open up
Definitely
4
a big
Daisy
one
this
for-
time. So we'll draw for turn. Ooh, this deck, man. Crispy.
Ooh, we're looking pretty
Crispy.
good. We're looking pretty good. Okay,
Inking one of these, maybe. Maybe the Robin.
that's. Yeah, it might bite us later. Nah, we'll see one. Okay, yeah, I'm about it. I'm about
Okay,
it. Let's do
okay,
it.
okay.
He's playing Daisy. He's gonna give us characters, so it's fine. Play the
Okay,
Cindy.
nice. Very. I like
Yep.
that. I like that. I like that. That line. Go ahead,
Mm.
Zach. Play a Inca Robin. Play a Cindy.
He's about to go real fast on us.
Sonic. Oh, you got a free Pete.
Oh, yep.
Pete
Get us that.
games off the Daisy Quest. Daisy Quest for 2. He's at 2. He's in
The referee.
What'd you ink?
Another-
Another Pascal?
No, he does not like that card.
Pedro Pascal. Okay, we got a biting and a Lilo together.
It's not necessarily the best in this matchup. I want to end the game. I can't quest. with
Yeah,
one cost-
definitely.
one
Yeah,
quest-
definitely.
one
Hey,
more
at least this
characters. I
time
have
it
to-
isn't
I have to
3
end the
Daisy.
game.
Draw. Oh, look, see?
Yeah,
Bam.
Yeah, never punish.
It's close.
So I never punished. So Pete games. never
No,
go-
whoa. Storm
whoa.
first.
Wait, so what? Oh,
Remember,
yes.
full
Yep.
info, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
You see? I see. This is why we have the guest here. That stop me from doing bad plays, bro. Big brain. Okay. So you're right. Yes, full knowledge. We'll storm first. We'll storm first every time. We'll sing storm with the Cindy. Pop a biting. Draw a card. And now we'll decide what we want to ink.
Ooh,
I don't know if it matters, but there is cards that gain benefit with characters named Maleficent on the board, and even though it's
Big.
probably not in my deck, it's something to just consider.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there's
And
no
look,
shit
is-
Lilos yet.
I was gonna say, is Lilo a princess? I was like, oh, okay, she's not. I was like,
Yeah,
she's the hero.
yeah.
Maybe
So
maybe the fill comes down.
That's why it's always the Maleficent, at least in this situation.
Yeah.
I see
Yeah.
that,
You're
right.
right. You're right. You're right. It's just
Okay.
let's shift Mally's.
Okay.
Okay, so-
Yeah. Okay. Now we just play the Pete and then go for your line with the lantern, I believe. Yeah. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure it's
that's
lantern.
right. And you just
Yeah.
But-
There's just kind of an argument of just putting another body out, right? So that way you can swing into something
Mhm.
versus the aggro deck. Like that's what I was thinking at least. So, but I think it's fine. I think
Do
it's
you
okay.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
yeah. We're just playing like
Yeah, like playing something for 2 instead. But I think it'll be
Fair
okay.
enough.
Please don't play more daisies.
Ooh, we got a
All I
big
ask.
Cindy.
I like the card a lot.
All right. Think of Chromicon. Here comes Donald.
Oh,
Donald.
cards.
Okay.
So good, man. Yeesh.
7
We're going
already. Okay.
fast. We're
So
going
yeah, so
fast.
he's definitely racing. Well, we didn't have much to. Okay, so
Okay. So I think it's Ink Big Cindy. I don't think we're gonna get that far
okay.
in the future at the moment at least.
You are one turn
Um,
away, though.
Oh, we should have done the full information thing again. Let
Oh,
the Storm
yes.
Rage on. Just
Yep,
take that back.
Yep. Yep. Shh. Editing. Okay, so we're gonna Storm Rage
Yeah,
on
somebody-
again first.
He's editing.
we'll pop the Lilo. Yeah, we have to hit the Lilo, right? We'll draw a
Yeah.
card. Oh, look at that.
Ooh.
So
Never
now we're
yeah.
getting Big Cindy for the first time, actually,
Yeah,
because we have 2.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we're eating Big Cindy.
Let's probably just play the aerial here.
Yeah, you play Ariel.
Well,
This
if you were playing only Ariel, why do you have to ink right now?
Right. No, fair. Yeah, exactly. Again, same thing. Full information.
True.
Full information. Because it's kind of the idea here.
All right.
If you find a
so
bare necessities, I think you're down to ink that. If that's the only
Ooh.
song you can add.
Yeah.
we found the best. We found nothing.
We found the best. we found the best card we could have found. Zero.
The best card, and that's I already have Whole New World.
Go ahead. Yep. Go ahead.
All right.
Okay, I think
All
next
right,
turn
guys.
we should.
I have
here,
to
but-
admit. Oh man, no, that's not the play. Is it? How aggressive is that? Let me see. I actually got to do some quick math.
Quick
First
math.
off,
Quick
let me
math.
see if the card that I give you off Daisy
Information.
Oh no!
determines my choices.
Impact your choice.
Oh,
Information.
because I know that there's
No.
nothing that's changed. I can now assess my situation a little bit differently.
And you get someone to make a little sign that goes like information, like whenever we mess that up.
For real.
Like,
That'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be a
Yeah,
great
I
little
think
gift.
this
a
is
gift
the
play.
line. I think this is the line. I'll befuddle back your Cindy.
Oh, he's so good. He's so good.
Befuds.
Oh, he's so good.
Befuddies.
Look at him.
Yeah,
Oh,
look
my
at him.
goodness.
Look
Look at him go.
Look at him go against the hardest matchup. Look at him quest against the hardest matchup. No three.
I'm trying my hardest right now. Literally. Go ahead.
All right. Well, we'll see. Okay, this
For
is
your
such a good card, right? This is a good card,
Ooh.
right? Because we could just kind of like
This
play our hand out.
Yes, I do actually like this a lot. So I think, yeah, it's still ink. Either the Big Cindy or the Robin Hood. It's up to you, whichever one you want to.
I kind of
Put
want
away.
to ink the Robin Hood because there is
Okay.
some like wacky scenario where like we're able to shift Big Cindy and then he exerts his bodyguard. And then
Yeah.
we were able to play the Big Cindy on top, and then we can challenge
Okay,
his ready
I'm fine.
character because his bodyguard is exerted. Is that how that works? Or I have to set the bodyguard? I don't know. We could do. I'm sure there's something we could do something.
Kevin's
If,
cooking.
if
Kevin's
I
cooking.
have a readied bodyguard character, you
I have to hit the body.
that.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
that should-
the reason why I like the inking the Robin Hood here actually though is because we bottom decked 2 Robin Hoods earlier off that aerial. I don't know if you noticed.
Oh yeah, the little ones. You're right.
The baby
you're right.
hoods, yeah.
The
So there's a
baby-
high chance that we're not seeing the baby hood anytime soon.
That's
so.
true. That's true. Okay, so we got 4 ink plus lantern to spare, so we'll use 4
Okay, so
first.
play. Play the 1 drop first. So that way
we
you're.
actually just
yeah.
used
Your full body, right?
We'll use lantern only.
Yeah. Use lantern only.
Okay.
Boom. Play the 1 drop. Boom.
Yeah.
And then tap that. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Because I almost messed that up. Sequencing,
And then
very important.
Sequencing. Hey, sequencing.
Sequencing very
Man.
important because now I'll do 3 damage instead of just 2 damage. So
Yeah. So I
Um,
think it's definitely 3 to the.
by Maleficent, right?
Actually, I don't think so. I feel like it's 3 to the a Daisy. Or we just played this Cinderella, didn't we?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I guess we could hit the Maleficent here. Yeah.
All right, so hit Maleficent, bam, and then we either quest or hit, right? His deck doesn't play Rapunzel. They don't play Rapunzel. That's the only thing that I'm worried about is if this deck starts playing Rapunzel, you get punished for like swinging into that.
Yeah. Might swing on us.
You get
as
punished
well
by
too,
a fox.
By a fox.
So. You do get punished by a fox as well
Yeah,
too. That would
yeah,
hit you pretty hard.
hyper.
So
Big
You just-
fox.
There's no reason for you to turn it sideways right now, in my honest opinion.
Yeah, I think
we'll
it's
pass.
pass.
All right, we'll just
You-
pass.
I think it's just pass.
But
Yeah.
like, you're not killing the character, so it doesn't stop me from questing, and
True.
that's all I want to do, right?
Very true. Very true.
I guess my reasoning was like if we hit it once, then next turn we can hit it with the Cindy and then use Naveen and Ariel to contest the Daisy. Obviously our hand
This
is a type
pretty
way.
spicy.
Mm.
I'll
Ooh, that's not good for us.
Yeah, who is this guy?
That is not good for us.
Who is
now,
this guy?
yeah, because now this is looking worse than it was gonna look. Oof.
Pete
Get our Pete.
Games. We got Pete to
Alright.
the hand, not bad.
Mr. Referee. You need to cap cut
And,
that.
and I would
put,
do
like,
this.
Cole's
I
bed.
would do this 100% of the time. I just want you to know that I would do this 100% of the time because I can't lose to a big Cindy. I'm going to
Oh.
ready.
He
So good.
knows. He knows.
Oh, that's so good.
He knows.
That is
He
so good.
knows how to
Okay.
play around cards, chat.
All right, we have to.
So
Find a way to play
12,
this board here, right?
12,
This
so
is crazy how close I'm
13,
getting.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17. This represents to 18, 19. Ugh.
Right, so we go this. I think it's definitely Ink our Pete here, right? Play the Piglet. We have to resolve a strength there, and then kill that, right? I think that. Yeah. Okay.
Do we just ink Big Cindy so that we can play Pete and Piglet this turn?
I-
To just have an
I
extra
want it-
body?
I want to use one of the strengths on a body to kill a body. The reason why I want to do that is because we're gonna play the Piglet here, and we're gonna play both strengths while swinging on this
okay.
on this Donald, right? So I think
get it,
it's
I
play
get it.
Piglet first,
Okay,
right?
So tap, bam, play Pig.
Yeah, play our Piglet first. We're probably gonna hard sing strength here, killing the killing that. And then I think we sing through the Cinderella, the strength.
The next strength.
I feel it might be blue. Part of me wants it to be blue here.
You saw me sing a Friends on the Other Side. So you know
Yeah.
I play that card.
Yeah, you 100% play.
He does play that card, so I think it might be the blue because we got to get rid of it before
no
he
matter
requests
what,
it all.
yeah.
So I'm kind of down to do it. Yeah, let's
Yeah,
get rid
hit
of
the
it.
blue, so you gain 2.
Rufist, let him gain his 2,
Yeah,
and
it must be
then now
nice.
we can just hard swing,
I
right?
mean, I'll
Like
take
that
2.
there. Boom, and I guess quest with
Now you
Yusufi.
quest. Now you quest. Now you
No.
quest because you have a Singer 6. Yeah. Now you quest.
Yeah, now we can quest, and then
do we ink?
ink the.
Maybe not, right?
Yeah, I can see why you wouldn't want to.
Like,
I don't hate it.
All right, we're just not gonna ink. Go ahead, Zach.
No.
There's a world where the card after this card is friends, and we play Pete, and he's like, no.
Okay, I think that was a good
Why do
turn.
I play friends? All right, let's see.
I think
That was
a
really good. So see, that was a point in the game where me as a non-Amber Steel player or someone who just doesn't like this color combo, I'm overwhelmed. Decision making getting hard. Like
Yeah,
yeah.
This deck is genuinely counterintuitive. Like it's actually just not that easy to play. That's why I kind of stuck onto it for so long because
Yeah.
I knew
my gosh.
it was gonna take a while.
It's a hard deck to play. Most decks I think are hard to
Thinking
play in
about
Lorcana to
this.
master, anyways.
Definitely, yeah.
I guess I'll play to my outs. So we'll just pay 2 and play Candle, and I have to pass.
The
Okay,
candlestick, huh?
real quick, a little embarrassing. What does that card do?
Banish this item. If you have 3 or more characters in play, gain 2 lore. So it's like another gathering knowledge and power.
Okay.
One turn too late, Zach, because you had them. You had the characters.
I know,
there too,
yeah. Luckily, we were able to get rid of a lot of the monsters
Oh
there.
my gosh,
so
that was literally one turn
pretty
away.
sweet for us. And what, he passed on us? Okay.
Oh,
get a
the best
draw.
card, right? Just do it.
There's just no way we're doing that, right? Are we doing that? There's just no way we're doing that.
No, we have to hit him with
Right,
the wombo combo, right? So we just do this. Actually, 1, 2. That's 4. No. Oh,
Now I have to hope.
I really
now
don't
just
think we
have to
play
hope
it.
you didn't
We
have
play this,
Big
right?
Cindy.
Yeah, we play that. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, we definitely play that. Yeah.
So we're going big. We're shifting big Cindy.
Yeah,
And we're just
going
gonna
big,
quest out
and
for 3,
now we're on the
6,
race here, right?
7, 8, 9. Yep. Oh yeah, we're on. We're this is already 9. So we were up 19 on board.
Already looking pretty good.
Go ahead,
yeah,
Zach.
There's a way we could have. Nah, that's fine.
That's it. That's it.
You said that's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's the play. That's it. That's all we can do, right? I mean, I don't think we could ink and play Lantern too.
Yeah, I think you're okay. I think we're fine. Kind of depends on what he does here.
We could have Hono World and hit the Lilo, but
6, 7, 8, 9.
I-
Gotta play this way, I guess.
Wow.
Pass.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a chance that we just hard lose if we don't see an out here. So, but I think this is decent because we have the Cinderella up now.
Yeah.
So maybe this might actually be fine. Yeah, let's get a draw. Okay.
Okay.
That looks like ink. That looks like ink to me.
Okay. So, are we gonna play this whole new world so that we can make sure we kill one of these?
That's what I'm low-key thinking. Only
right?
because
if he top decks a character, he goes to 18, and then the candle is literally lethal.
Yeah, so we get him away from lethal if we're able to clear his board after that.
And I could,
and then we can kind of quest out.
I couldn't play another character. Like I don't think I could have gone any faster last turn.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Yeah, you couldn't.
Okay,
Okay. Yes, I think you're totally okay. So I think we just ink the Robin Hood probably here, or either ink the Pete or ink the Robin Hood. I think it's ink the Pete probably.
We just play Pete just in case he wants to do like some shenanigans with friends or befuddle next
Some
turn.
befuddle stuff.
Yeah.
Befuddle stuff maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm about it.
That ink this. And then
I'm about it.
we could even play this too. Nah, but we want to.
Then we'll have what, 2 ink left. I'm okay with playing
getting a
the
singers
lantern
though.
here.
We're getting a
I'm okay with
singers
playing the lantern here. Yeah.
All right, so
Let's
we'll
do
do
that.
lantern, and then we'll go 1, 2, bam, and then we'll play Pete,
Play the
and then
Pete,
we'll sing
then
Whole New
sing-
World with Ariel.
Yeah, with Ariel. Yeah.
All right, Zach.
We draw 7.
Draw 7.
This is when it
Okay.
gets fun.
Wow,
Okay,
not
this
a,
isn't too-
not a
It's okay, it's okay.
Okay.
It might not be okay, but it's okay. It might not be
Okay.
okay.
Well, Cindy's gonna have to clear the Lilo, right?
Yeah, I think so definitely clear the not the Lilo, probably the Daisy, right?
Daisy, fine, kill Daisy. Well, I just
Yeah,
thought
kill the
I thought no, you're right actually, because we do no songs here. So if that
Yeah.
Daisy hits a song, I'm gonna feel bad. So you're right.
Yeah,
You're
we're gonna
right.
feel really bad.
All
Yeah,
right,
and then
so,
probably quest to 15.
Oh, this
I
is
think we just
resist.
hard.
uh,
Yeah, I think we just hard win, right? So we quest
1,
to
2,
15.
3, 4, 5, and then we go.
We hard win unless he drew like multiple knowledge. I think that's how it.
Yeah.
that's how
I
No,
we
you
mean-
played Pete. You played
This
Pete.
could
You
take.
played
Oh, we
Pete.
did play Pete. Hey!
Yeah, we played Pete. Yeah, we played Pete.
did.
We played
Hey,
Pete.
we
Look,
did it
let's
on
see.
purpose.
Go ahead. Go. Yeah, see that gathering knowledge
On
and power.
purpose.
There you go.
Hey,
go ahead, Zach.
so
Go
now-
ahead, Zach.
I
Well,
don't think there's.
If he has-
I need
Oh,
to
this is
remind.
good.
I need
If he
to
has,
remind you. I need to remind
if he has
you.
character second candle, I'm gonna scream.
Oh,
I'm gonna scream.
Kevin, you're screaming. You're screaming. No, I have it. I have it.
No,
You're
don't tell me
screaming.
that. This is
No.
really a thing. Oh
Get
my gosh,
outta
this is really
here.
a thing. Oh my god, this is really a thing.
Yeah. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4.
You just tap it? Oh, what? It's so broken.
No, you just pop them. You just brandish them. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
That is so broken. Oh my god.
Game.
Oh, we were so close, bro. Why does that get around the Pete? Oh my god, we could have just won. I'm so
It gets
sick.
around Pete. It gets around Pete,
How
Zach.
does that get around the
It
Pete?
gets
Candle.
around
Candle gets
Pete.
around
Oh
Pete.
my god. Oh my god. We should have. Ah, god. I don't
That's
even
what-
know. It
I
could've
was
done
like, if
differently.
you don't kill Lilo, I win. If
We
you
hadn't-
don't
we
kill
didn't draw a song.
Lilo, I
Yeah,
win.
we wheeled for a song. We just didn't find.
We didn't see a single song. 7 cards. 7 cards.
Oh, someone's
7
coming,
cards.
someone's
All
coming.
characters, Zach. All characters.
Hey, you know what? It's probably the
Candle is-
62.
It's probably the 62. That was actually yeah. Yeah, that was
Any
hilarious.
hyper aggro enthusiasts out there, guys, just know that Candle is lit.
Candle
Well,
is
it's kind of funny
lit.
because Zach is still technically undefeated because we split.
We split, and just like that, we have 3 points at a DLC instead of 7.
Instead of
You
seven.
just lost to your best matchup.
Dude, like Zach.
Honestly,
It can still
was
cheese out.
It was befuddle. It was that befuddle that one turn.
Oh
That
yeah,
one
definitely.
Turn I befuddled
Yeah,
you?
definitely. Yeah.
Huge
Oh
difference.
my god. It stopped
Yeah,
everything.
the deck could definitely still cheese out. Like that's what this matchup might be one of our best matchups, but it's not like we can't lose
Crazy.
this matchup.
Crazy.
Candle.
Okay.
Yeah, especially when we're on
Candle.
Miracle Candle. That card's crazy.
Handle.
I'm so sick. Oh my god.
All right,
So
Yes,
close.
sometimes, man. That was a very fun game, Kevin. Thank you so much for you did coach Kevin, I think, to the best you could. I also just wasn't looking at the hand. I don't know what you could have done. I love Amber Steel. I feel like I know how to beat the deck. That was my edge in the matchup. I kind
Mhm.
of just waited until I knew I had to start turning cards sideways or I
Yeah,
lost.
that candle definitely put us on it. I really didn't want to have to play that wheel, but I think in that situation we had to, considering the fact that we were just about to lose.
No, yeah, it was
And you
at that
only
point.
lose to Candle because you played Pete. It's something you have to accept.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Candle 2 characters, by the way.
Yeah.
Was your next draw a character anyway, Zach?
I don't know. I just play all the 1-drops. Like I play 3 Cindy. if
No,
that
yeah,
helps anybody understand
because
that,
we
but I-
we whole new world because you were top decking, but if you would have top decked the character, then you would have won
Yeah.
anyways. So that's how I was like, oh dang, yeah, we have the whole new world.
Yeah. That's why we had to wheel there.
But we're gonna call it here. We'll do the outro here on the way I'm still doing the way I'm recording since we all have our screens now. So Andre, thank you again. That was some top-notch coaching. You know, you definitely taught me about some sequencing. I appreciate that. Make sure we covered how to maximize on gathering knowledge before we execute our power, pun intended. And yeah, man, we went 1-1 against Zach. Zach is a great player, so that's always a good feeling is not getting 2-0'd by Zach Stone.
Yeah.
So
I got us a win. You know what I'm saying? I got us a win.
yeah, well, one of these days we'll 2-0 him back. You know, this was the but yeah, Zach's playing some spice. Andre, do you have any shout outs? I know maybe you want to shout out your team, the Top Choice Gaming, right?
Yeah, shout out to my sponsor, Top Choice Gaming. We're located out in Redlands, California. Usually we hold our locos on Thursdays and Sundays, so please feel free to come out, check out our stuff. Also check us out on Instagram, top_choice_gaming. Yeah, we host all kind of things, and we sell on TCG Player. Shout out to them, and obviously shout out to you guys. Shout out to the Goons. You guys do great for the community. The content that you guys provide is not only enjoyable, but it's also informative. So shout out to you guys. Thanks for having me on. And yeah, I'll be happy to be back eventually.
Thanks, man. Do you have any social medias? Oh, I mean, I know you have your Twitch and your YouTube and stuff. You want to plug in before we go?
Right. Yeah, just so you can just follow me, honestly, updates on Twitter for the most part, ego_Dre. And then my Instagram is just Andre Tivo, my full name. But yeah, just follow me on there. And yeah, again, shout out to, all the guys, all the goons, and, good luck on your prep for Vegas.
Heck yeah, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for the tips, too, for repping to Vegas. If you guys like the content, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow Dre on Twitter. Be sure to check him out so you can follow his Lorcana journey as well. I know you've been posting on there a lot more. And Zach, too. Zach made a Twitter account, so go follow Zach Stone on Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah. He posts like once a month when he's on the bathroom toilet, I think.
He can share his hyper aggro deck list.
Yeah.
I wanted to post,
How to beat
I wanted to
Eversteel.
post one this morning and be like, we're about to record a new episode and tag Dre and kind of just start like my
your
my
journey.
beginning of like
Please,
being
please.
consistent on Twitter. I wanted to,
You should.
but I didn't do it. So.
I
I'll
the routine, it's fine.
I'll do it. I'll start.
you know what
Sweet.
you should
Yeah.
post, Zach? post your deck list and say, this is the list I used to beat Amber Steel in this week's Quest with a Guest, which
My
will be up
worst
today.
match.
I'm splitting
You
one of
want
my
to
worst
split
matchups.
it the challenge against Amber Steel? Play my list.
No, dude, like I
Play
yeah.
Candle.
Play Candle. Candle is I can see the YouTube
No,
headline now.
I
Candle is
played a
lit.
bunch of games. Before I sign off, I played a bunch of games against this matchup on the draw, testing, and I played so much to where I accepted I just cannot play two of this deck unless they brick. I need to get very, very lucky. Luck needs to be on my side. It's such a deck. It's such a very funny deck to kind of consider right now because it was the deck everyone was very much like scared of in the beginning of the set. And now that everyone kind of like saw less aggro in representation, I think it's a good time for it to kind of swing back. And I've already been saying that enough. So just keep in mind that aggro's still around, and I actually want to be the person that makes people consider their deck choices and like, oh, okay, well, do I actually want to fully complete like my control deck to just be the best control deck, or do I want to cater to some aggro stuff, or just give up that matchup completely? So yeah, I am creating that spark, and that's what I like to do. So make sure to follow me on Twitter, guys. It's at Zach Stone Brand. Just go ahead and reach out if you ever have any questions. I'll do my best. I am starting my Twitter journey, so feel free to reach out to me there. Always on Instagram at Stone Brand Cards. And if you're in the local area, definitely come say hi to me at Frank and Sons. And if you're at the DLC, definitely say hi to Kevin and I. We'll have some stickers. We'll have some other accessories. I'm really looking forward to that event.
Yeah, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate you guys for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We do these every Thursday, so we can so you can come back next week and hang out with another Lumineer and get to questing with us. But until then, stay tuned to Lorcana Goons, and we'll see you goons next time.